Hi everyone, it's Marian again. So now I'm trying to tell you something about our next car. Why Honda Accord? Why? Even for me at that time it was a surprise. So we were in 2004. My parents has to visit us. That mean many long trips because our intention was to take them to Niagara Falls, to Quebec City, to Ottawa. So we need a trustful car. Our Intrepid was old and rusty. Before to buy that car, it was a bad maintenance on the car. It has problems with the transmission. So in our eyes, it was not a trustful car, our Intrepid. So we need a good car, but not too expensive. So at that time, I was started to know the market, to read about good and bad cars. So at the recommendation of one of my friends, I start to read this car, Lemonade used cars and minivans. This one I bought it. Someone else, some different editions. I went to the library, I rent them, I read them. So after that I start to read Consumer Reports and Protégez-vous, two very good and especially Protégez-vous, very helpful magazine about cars. A lot of kind of explanation and counsels and to everything. Very well for a beginner as I was. So meantime someone came here and bought a Ford Escort, and I saw that car wasn't bad. I read about it. It was built on Mazda platform. So I decided to search something like this because Toyota and Honda was pretty expensive reported to these American cars. So I start to watch here and there, and I went to search to see them effectively, but I didn't find what I wish to buy, or if I find something I liked, it was pretty more expensive than the amount I wish to buy to give for that car. So time passed. Someday I found a kind of a review, a kind of a magazine with cars for selling, and I saw there to a dealer. I saw two Honda Civic, but manual. That time I preferred especially automatic because I was at the beginning as a driver. So I went there to see if they are there, if they weren't sold, or I don't know. Anyway, when I arrived there, they told me those cars were sold, and they asked me if I really need an automatic car or not, because they have very nice Accord, but manual. Well, I asked them for the file of the car. It was pretty clean. They told me it was only a driver. The car has around 80,000 kilometers. When he turned back the car to the dealer because it was a kind of leasing. So for me it was a little later I thought about this. The car was 111,000 kilometers, so about 30,000 kilometers was done by the dealership. I don't know why they did subcontract or anyway. But the car was very, very well equipped. It was a Accord LXI, which has sunroof, aileron, wheels. Inside of the car it was leather, and a good leather, not kind of leather we don't have now. It was just manual transmission, but it was classic board, and this car was nice. I love them, I like them, but I wished to take the car to my mechanic to see if something wrong. Look how it was, the engine for a 5 years old Honda. As you can see, it wasn't sprayed out with rust protection, which is done here, but wasn't bad, turning well, and pretty decent condition inside and outside. This picture I did, a friend of me has a digital camera, and he took the pictures, and the car was pretty big and good shape. And my mechanic told me, you have to change the tires, you have to do this or that, you have to put some more money, but the condition of the car, it's okay. And it seems that that car has those kilometers, which is not showing more tears on the age of the car. It was nice to touch, and he told me, yeah, you can buy it if you want, if you like it. So this car was about $5,000 to $6,000 more than a Ford Escort. Yes, the Ford Escort is a smaller class. It's not the same class of the car, and not the same kind of quality inside and outside. It was a good car, the Ford, but look, I found that Honda. My mechanic told me it's a good car, I can take it with no problem. So I talked to my wife, and we decided to take it. So now if you want to listen what Lemonade said about the Honda Accord. The Accord doesn't really excel in any particular area. It's just very, very good at everything. It's smooth, quiet, mannerly, and competent, with outstanding fit and finish, in and out. So as I told you, when I came this country, I saw on the street Accords, and I like them for their design inside out. And I found them pretty well equilibrated, and not too big, not too small, just uh, fair enough for what I thought about having a car, not to have a, let's say, too big car. It was the Intrepid. This was a little shorter, not so larger. So it was a good car, just drive inside, outside of the city. So the only problem I had when I took it, it was just um, the experience with the manual gearbox, because I took my driving license in Romania manual cars only there, but there I didn't drive, and when I came here I drive like more almost 2 years, 2 years and a half, just an automatic car, not too much, but it was only automatic. So even I knew in theory what I have to do. My reflexes was a little oldie, so I had to work, and it was my school car, and it was pretty good car for to learn this, because the gearbox the gearbox selector was very uh, precise. It was easy to find the gears. It was nice. So the only thing I didn't like too much, it was the fact that the clutch pedal has a very short course. So if you want to release it, you have to be very careful with that car, not to make the car stop the engine. The problem was that problem I saw it generally in all Japanese car. It's a kind of uh, adjustment there, I think, and that was the problem. But even with that, I was able to get used with the car. I didn't drove it too much. I kept the car like 2 years and 8 months. Uh, it was pretty expensive, even if it was a good car. We had to spend pretty much money. Only the maintenance of the car, it was $3,317. So it was a little less than the Intrepid. It was almost the same with the Golf I had later. I didn't drive it too much. The kilometers we did with the car, it was 41,000 kilometers. So we make a monthly average is about 1,300, more than with the Intrepid, but much less than the Golf. So one on the other look, I spent like almost $12,000 with the car. So that was the story with the Honda Accord. Why we bought it? Because I like it. I read about that. It is a reliable car, an economical car. That car was 4-cylinder, 2.3 liters engine with 5-speed gearbox, plus the rear wheel. So in short, this was the story with the car and why we bought it, and we loved it, we like it. Even I had a little surprise after I bought it, because I start to find the engine temperatures rise up. So I find it was leaking of coolant. It was like a valve somewhere, plastic or rubber or something, and it was broken, so I went to my mechanic, and he found where it was the problem and replaced it and changed the coolant, and after that the car was okay. And I had different surprises. I went somewhere and I took a small little stone, and that small little stone broke, go inside the grill and broke the radiator condensation for the condensation, and I had no more air conditioning, and I had to replace that radiator to add the freon, and it was how much it was, 400 or something like this, if I remember, because especially because I had to take $430, but I had to take out twice. I had to pay for the freon, because once they check out, the second one they had to put again to fill up again the installation. So that was all, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with the next video.